Hello guys, today in this video I'm going to explain about the dashboard of dotnet Aspire and its folder structure. So make sure before starting with make sure that Docker desktop is running in your system, and I'm continuing from the previous video here. And so you can see here project is already created, and so I will put the URL in the description if you want to watch the previous video for creating the dotnet Aspire project. So here let me first run this project, then we will see the dashboard first. So to start the application, first I need to go inside the app host project, because app host should be the starter project inside the dotnet Aspire. So I will go inside the app host folder. So I will here copy this one, Aspire app host, and I will do here cd, and then I will go inside. Now here I will run the command dot net run, and here you can see it is building the project, and yeah, it is still building it. And yeah, you can see here it has given the login dashboard basically. So I will click on this one. So if you are maybe working on Windows, then same thing you will see in the PowerShell. So I will click on this URL to open it. So it is opened here in the default browser, which is Safari in my case. So here you can see we have three resources here: container, project. There are one container type resource and two are project. So container is basically a cache, and it is running on the Docker. Let me show you here. You can see it is running here in the Docker. So if I will close this, then it will automatically like stop this container. Let me show you this thing, and also I need to close the project. So to close it, I need to press Ctrl+C. So here you can see that that container is now removed from here. That image basically running the container. So here again I will stay here in the container. Yeah. So I will run it again using the dotnet run command. So you can see like dotnet Aspire is managing the Docker container as well from its console itself. Or we can say from the it's like feature of service discovery. So it will manage everything. So here I will again open this URL by clicking on this. Yeah, or I can just simply click it here using the command, pressing the command, and then click. In the Mac OS, maybe in Windows it will work like Ctrl+click. Okay, so here again, here I'm inside the dashboard. So we'll see what are the things we are here available things. So first let me open this project web frontend. So I will open it in a new tab, and here you can see this is a simple Razor project here, and here it is having its counter implemented, and here it is having its weather. So currently let me refresh this page. So you can see it is now getting the data, few data from cache, and few it is like changing like basically after each few seconds it's changing the data. So we'll see in the log how it is working over there. Okay, so you can see here basically the data, weather data is getting changed whenever I'm refreshing the page. So now let's go to its dashboard, Aspire dashboard. Here we'll see the first thing as a console, and here you can see that we have multiple option or basically projects to select. So we can see here cache is also log for the cache and log for a web front end. So in front end we have done like few hits here. So you can see its HTTP response is coming 200, and it's basically working fine. So all the are the API calls done internally. Okay, and we'll also see the structured logs. So here in structured log, you can see the detail of the basically um, the calls which we have done from web frontend, because currently only web frontend is used here. And yeah, also it seems like it has also used API service to get the data. Okay, so yeah, for hosting the environment, and yeah, for routing, connecting the route path. So these things are done here, and you can see these things are in the log. And once I will click on anything, for example, I will click on this one, so you can see like details here, like level of information, time taken, connection ID, request ID, URL. Okay, and its context, in the context section you can see its category, trace ID, and here you can see the service name, instance ID, HTTP. So these things you can see. And if I talk about traces here, so in the trace as well, you can see the trace for API service. So in API service, you can see the trace, its call is coming from the weather frontend app, and from there it's going to cache, and from cache it's again like the another, we can say this is like call, and then it is calling the actual API from the API service, and then web front end, I mean it has returned response to the front end project. So and if I talk about this web front end trace, so here we can see the trace basically. So this one, for example, this is the API, whether API call. So this call is basically like data it is fetched from the cache. So you can see there is no API call is going on. And here you can see this one is again coming, data is going from the cache. And let's move upward. Yeah, here this one's, yeah, here you can see this call is coming from the like it fetched from, tried to fetch from cache, but in cache it could not find maybe, and from there it has went to API service, or maybe the cache data is expired. So after that it fetched the data from API service and put it inside the cache and returned to the web front end. So we can see the trace here, basically how the calls is going on. And here we can also see the matrices related to our request, and like, so here we have request basically. So there are no active requests currently. Request duration, we can see we have done few hits here, so we can see here. And this is routing attempts, routing match attempts, so there are 6 totally. So yeah, the next Kestrel active connection. So currently no active connection. It's went to 0 from 1. TLS handshake is empty. Currently duration, no duration. There is no connection here. Okay, so these open telemetry detail also we can see here. Exception counts we can see here, and we can also say these are basically the things which will help in like developing the project in the development environment, and also in the production or hosted environment. And here we have system.net or HTTP requests. So currently there are no requests. Connection duration, we had no connection for 120 seconds. Yeah. And we have open connections, so we have like other details as well. You can see server address, server port, URL scheme, as HTTP. So yeah, we have client open connections, so we have again these things we can see basically to it, which will help us in uh, like building the software, or we can say our application better in quality. And also it will help a lot in like checking for the any faulty things. So these are the information related to uh, Aspire dashboard. So I hope you understood it. And now let's move to the folder structure. So in folder structure, let me go to Visual Studio Code here. So this is the default project what I have created here, and these are the default projects created inside using the .NET command basically for .NET Aspire. So we have like 3 projects basically we can see here. So two, one is API service for handling the API calls. So this is same .NET Core application, or we can say API. Let me just make it bigger in the screen size. So now okay, let me yeah, explain it. So here you can see in the program.cs file, these are the simple minimal API approach which is created by .NET Aspire. Okay, so this is just a one single endpoint which is like exposed here, or we can say it's available here. So this is just single program.cs file. Inside that we are having everything in the API. And here we have another project web. In the web, basically you can see here in the program.cs it is calling the API. Okay, it's calling the API, and so it's calling the API here, and the main benefit is here it will prefer like writing it like this. It will, you can say, HTTPS is the preferred over the HTTP. So it's the service discovery thing. So basically it will automatically discover for the better thing. Okay, and here in, let's go the main starting project, or we can say start a project. So in app host, this will handle everything, literally everything. That means we can add as much project here. Not only projects, we can add container services, we can add database, we can add any other image as well. So these things will be added here inside the Aspire simple app host project. So here you can see the first thing is distributed application dot create builder. So this line is mainly responsible for configuring everything under this umbrella of .NET Aspire. Okay, and the next thing this builder is adding here Redis. So for that you can see here Redis is already here in the reference. Basically, let me go to HTTPS. So it's CSPROS file, and you can see here Redis is the part of package reference here inside the .NET sorry, AppHost project. Okay, and also AppHost is also having itself its own package, and it is having reference with the two project here. You can see web and API service. So moving again to program.cs file here. So here you can see the next thing is API service. So first it will run cache, then it will run API service. Okay, and here in API service it has given its name API service. In the same way it has given name to the cache, and here it's add project is basically you can say generic thing here, which will consider any different type of project here under this add project class. Okay, so here we have added API service project here with the name of API service. So this API service will be considered as a like we can say identification or identity to communicate between internal we can say services or microservices. Okay, and in the same way here we have front-end project, and this front-end is basically having the HTTP endpoints like exposed means it's basically allowing it to getting access from the external and HTTP endpoints basically. And here we can see with reference caches. So that means this it's using the cache here, this one cache like Redis cache here for caching the data. And in the next line it's asking it like this web front-end project to wait for the cache here to run and to start it basically. And again it's referencing with the API service, and again it's asking it to wait for run, I mean start the API service, then it will start this web front end. Okay, and in the last it will run this whole builder thing, like whole distributed application. So yeah, this external attribute, that means it will be available for outside to be getting access using the HTTPS or we can say HTTP endpoints. So yeah, this is available inside the app host project. And we have here one thing, service defaults. So service defaults is, again, we can say it's a little, its purpose of here having to serve the different purpose here, basically to handle the configuration as a shared configuration, we can say, between all the like services which will be available under the .NET Aspire. So let me go here in CS project file, and here you can see here is shared project, right? This is a shared project in the property group, and it is set to true. That means we can put our shared configuration and any details over here in the service default project here. Okay, so here it is having a one extensions class, and in this extensions it's already like currently added by .NET Aspire itself, and you can see here it is this configure, open telemetry, health check, add service discovery. So these classes are already added, and this is basically for communicating, like add service discovery is basically to communicate between available resources under the service like .NET Aspire, and these are related to having the logs, and this is for checking the health of like system or application. So these things are like already predefined things, so we can also disable or enable few things here. Okay, for like increasing, I mean, for having more facility related to monitor or something. So yeah, these things we can look again. Will basically we will look it in the coming videos, and when we'll move forward to like having, I mean, creating the actual, we can say, application with this. So we will create it definitely in the coming videos. So yeah, moving towards now, I think we have discussed everything. So yeah, one more thing here we can discuss. We have basically uh, app settings file here. Okay, sorry, app setting.json file here. So here we can put our connection string. So it's again, if we are going to put connection string inside the API service, then it will be specific to the API service project. If we are going to put it inside app host, then we can I mean, use in multiple services for having the connection string available for use. Okay, so these things we can do related to configuration. Okay, so yeah, so these are the folder structure. So you can see the normal thing here. So these are the four folders here related to project, and one solution file is available here. Okay, so other than this, yeah, we have few things to understand about its flow, how the flow is going on. So let me show you this image here. So to how the dashboard of Aspire, .NET Aspire is working basically. So you can understand it from this, and it's using basically gRPC package of .NET Core to handle all these details to show you on the .NET Aspire dashboard. So you can see we have here application 1, application 2. So in the same way, I mean, we can add multiple applications. So currently app 1 and app 2 is connecting with the OLTP, and basically OLTP protocol, and it's showing the data. So we can connect OLTP either by using like the certificate, or by using some like API key or secrets. So it's basically doing its like connection with the OLTP and sharing the data to the dashboard from each application, and it's using gRPC protocol for its resources, like protocol to get see the, I mean, we can say, to check for resources and the logs and the commands executed on the each like hosted projects basically, and so the data on the like dashboard. So basically gRPC protocol is basically the very useful thing here to display everything on the dashboard. Okay, so yeah, it's bringing the data from the resource server. um so that's one thing, and there is one more thing what I want to show you related to Apple's project. So how a post project is working here, so you can see here in our current folder structure, we have one cache container resource, which is cache. We have two project resources, one in which one is API service and another one is web front end. So in cache we have connection string related to cache. So web front end is connected with the cache. Okay, and for that, let me show you again that thing in the program.cs file we can find it. So you can see here, yeah, it's adding inside the builder add redis output cache as the cache, and this cache is the same name. You can see this cache is having the same name what we are having here in the .NET Aspire app host project in the program.cs file. So you can see it is given here the name is cache, and the same name is getting used here in the cache, okay, to make the connection. And the same way you can see here API service is here as a base address, and here in the .NET Aspire project, sorry, app host project, we have inside the program.cs file we have this name API service. So it's basically matching with the name, and these matching are getting handled by .NET Aspire itself using that service discovery, okay. And it's basically also like we can say matching with the endpoints as well, because you can see here API service is just a name with connected with HTTP or HTTPS. But if you will see the dashboard, um, like in the dashboard you can see it's having a different endpoint, right? It's having the HTTP 7356 endpoint with HTTPS protocol. So it's not like it's just calling that one, okay. So you can see here it's bringing the data from this URL. So how it's connecting basically, so .NET Aspire is handling it to convert this as API service name with the local host, basically this local host URL 7356, okay, this one, to have the connectivity, and to so these things are handled out internally with just using the name what we have passed here, okay. So I hope you got the idea here. And yeah, one what I was discussing about, yeah, this one. So yeah, these things are done here in the current created project as as a default project. So yeah, so I hope you got the idea how is .NET Aspire is working, and you understood about the folder structure of .NET Aspire. So yeah, for more information you can look all these URLs. I will put in the uh, description of the video. So yeah, that is all guys in this video. I hope you learned something new from this video. Thank you, thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you.